Hello, everyone. My name is Siddhant Kannan, studying in Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering, third semester, Computer Science and Engineering Department, USN 1V 22 CS 151. And today, we will be talking about classes and objects in Java. So, what is a class? A class is a data type in Java that defines a template or blueprint for an object. In other words, a class refers to the category or type of objects. So let's say your cat Kitty is of type cat, your red Mercedes is of type car, and your bank account is of type savings account. A class has variables defining properties and methods defining behavior of its objects. Here is the basic syntax of creating a class. So let's say we're creating a public class cat. Cat will be the name of the class. And in that class, we have two variables, color and breed. And then we have three methods, get breed, meow, and eat. What are variables? A variable is a named field containing information associated with the class or object. For example, the color variable of class cat indicates the color of the specific cat. A variable has a data type indicating what type of variable, which is number, text, array, or any custom variable, it is. Here are a few types of variables. Local variables. A local variable is a variable declared inside a class method or a constructor. Other methods in the class are not aware of these variables. For example, consider the drink method of class cat. So in drink method, let's have a float milk underscore quantity equal to 10. Milk underscore quantity is a local variable of method drink. Instance variables. Instance variables are variables which are declared inside a class but outside of any method or constructor. These are called instance variables because their values are instance specific and are not shared among instances. For example, the color variable of the class cat. And finally, we have class variables. Class variables are variables which are declared inside a class with the keyword static. A single copy of a static variable is shared among all instances of a class. Static variables are used to declare common properties. For example, the number of legs of a cat or the mileage of a brand of cars. What are methods? Methods are used to describe behavior of the objects of a class. A method is a set of statements which is referred to by name and can be invoked at any point in a program. It performs a logical unit of work. For example, get underscore mileage method in class car is used to return a specific car's mileage. In our cat class, meow and drink underscore milk are methods of the cat objects. Here is the basic syntax of a method. Public int get mileage. In this sentence, int is the return type which indicates the data type of the variable returned by a method. Public void refuel float fuel. This is the method name. And float fuel within the brackets indicates the parameter with which the method is invoked from within a program. Total underscore fuel equals total underscore fuel plus fuel. This sentence is the body of the method, which describes its functionality. What are constructors? Here's the basic definition of what a constructor is. A constructor is a block of code defined in a class that initializes the newly created object. A constructor is structurally very similar to an instance method in Java, but it is not a method as it doesn't have a return type. A constructor is automatically called when the instance of a class is created. Here is a basic example of a constructor. Types of constructors. So there are three basic types of instructors: default constructors, no argument constructors, and parameterized constructors. Default constructors. If a class does not have any constructor, Java compiler inserts a default constructor into the code. A default constructor for class cat looks like this. And please note that the body of the class is empty. The default constructor is not inserted if you implement a constructor for your class. No argument constructors. A no argument constructor is one that takes no arguments or parameters. The example is shown below. Parameterized constructors. A constructor with arguments or parameters is known as a parameterized constructor. In the example given below, string message is a parameter. Now we will be talking about objects. What is an object? An object, as everybody knows, is an instance of a class. An object is a self contained component with methods or behavior and properties or state. Objects are the real world manifestation of a class, like your house is the manifestation of the architect's blueprint, or your car is a real object of type car. Objects occupy memory location at runtime. For example, think of the class like the Mercedes blueprint and the object like your brand new Mercedes. Creating an object in Java. So, the basic syntax to create an object in the cat class, for example, is cat mykitty is equal to new cat function. Cat mykitty is the declaration of the object mykitty of class cat. Objects are created by using the operator new, which allocates memory for the object. The cat command invokes the no argument constructor we defined earlier. So when cat mykitty is equal to new cat is run, the following gets printed. Here are some differences between classes and objects. A class is a data type. It defines a template or blueprint for an object, whereas an object is an instance of a class. Classes do not occupy memory location, whereas objects occupy memory location at runtime. Classes do not really exist as it only provides a template. You can therefore not perform operations on a class. However, you can perform operations on objects. Now we'll be talking about method overloading and method overriding. Polymorphism in Java. Polymorphism comes from the two Greek words poly, meaning many, and morphs, meaning form. The ability to exist in different forms is called polymorphism. The same variable or method can perform different tasks. The programmer has the advantage of writing flexible code. Types of polymorphism. There are two main types of polymorphism: static polymorphism or compile time polymorphism, and dynamic polymorphism or runtime polymorphism. Static polymorphism. If a method call is resolved at compile time, that it is called static binding or earlier binding or static polymorphism or compile time polymorphism. For example, method overloading and method overriding by using static method, private method, and final method are an example for static polymorphism. Dynamic polymorphism. If a method call is resolved at the time of execution, it is called dynamic binding or late binding or runtime polymorphism. For example, method overloading and method overriding by using instance methods are an example for dynamic binding. Binding. Resolving a method call that is identifying a definition to be executed is called binding. In Java method call, resolve according to the following rules. For static polymorphism, static method calls are static binded, private non-static memory calls are static binded, constructor call is statically binded, final method call is statically binded, call to non-static non-private method is also statically binded when calling using the super keyword. For dynamic polymorphism, only the instance method call is dynamic binded. In JVM assembly, there are four instructions which are used by GRE for invoking methods. Invoke static. It is used to invoke the static method, which has static binding. Invoke special. It is used to invoke a constructor, a private non-static methods, non-private non-static methods using static binding. Invoke virtual. It is used to invoke an instance method which is of dynamic binding. Invoke interface. It's used to invoke the interface method using dynamic binding. Method overloading. Writing two or more methods in the same class in such a way that each method has the same name but with different method signature by varying their number of arguments or varying the type of argument or varying the order of argument is called method overloading. Method overloading is one of the means of implementing polymorphism. Here is a basic example of method overloading. In public class calculate, we have two methods which have void sum, but they are using different parameters. Method overriding. Writing two or more methods in super and subclass such that the method has the same name and same signature is called method overriding. Method overriding is one of the means of implementing polymorphism. Here is a basic example of method overriding. We have now come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.